Well, hello, everyone. This is Cindy Luby, and I'm on Paper Crafts by Elaine today because guess who's on vacation? Well, Elaine decided to take her grandkids to Florida. So she's on her way down there, creeping on her way down, I must say, because she had terrible traffic yesterday, but apparently it's much better today. So we're hoping that she gets there and gets all settled and has a great time with her grandkids. So they've got all sorts of good things planned. So I was given the task of doing our paper pumpkin alternatives. So Elaine and I got together last week before she left, and we made these alternatives together and had a great time. We had so much fun doing this. This is such a cute kit to put together. Lots of fun. I absolutely, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, I'm not really going to like this very much. But oh my God, once I got into it, has so many cute sayings. And I was thinking of Michelle Womack when she helped with our recipe book. This is a great kit for her because it's all around food, toast and eggs and banana, all sorts of cute little sayings like that. So Michelle, if you're watching this, you need to look at this paper cut pumpkin kit. But let me get started with this. Here was what some of the cards that they made to put in the kit. But you know us, we don't do that. We always come up with some different ideas. So we use all sorts of supplies. So let me do a little switcheroo here because now I have one. It's a brand new kit. So we do have, I believe, one or two of these available. If you're interested in purchasing them, just let us know. I'll let you know if we have one available or not. So, but please say hello to me because I don't want to think I'm out there by myself. But if I am, you can watch this in replay. No problem. Because I know a lot of people are busy right now returning those Christmas gifts or oohing and on over all those Christmas gifts. Because believe me, there was a fantastic Christmas. Wonderful weather here in North Carolina. Absolutely had a great day. But let me show you what's in this kit. So here is our instructions here. Let me just kind of go one by one here, and then I will show you all alternatives. So here is the instructions that you get. And remember, on the instructions, it actually tells you the coordinating colors that you can use with your kit. So right now, this is Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Early Espresso, Daffodil Delight, Crumb Cake, and Granny Green Apple. It's right here on the back of your instructions. So be sure and always look at that because if you're really looking at something to coordinate with it, you don't even have to think about it. It tells you all the coordinating colors. Gives you all the step-by-step instructions. But that is for if you just get started. Well, hi, Susan. Nice to see you. So what you get in here, and it will tell you also in the back that of how many pieces that you get. So you get 9 cards and 9 envelopes. So here's the pretty envelopes you get in Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, and then this is Crumb Cake. So, but guess what? Look at those fun interiors of the card. Absolutely love the insides of these cards. So guess what we're going to be using? Yep, you're right. We're actually going to be using a little bit of this as some of our cardstock. So we love to tear up envelopes, I tell you. So going to be looking at that. Then you get these cards to go with it. And then you get, this is our Daffodil Delight one. Then you get our Granny Green Apple. And it's kind of got these little splatter marks, or you've got this little watercolor swish in here. That's kind of cool. And this was our Daffodil Delight one. Isn't that kind of cool? I like that. And then you've got this pretty plaid. And that's Daffodil Delight on the Pool Party. So that kind of gives you an idea there. And then look at all these cute pieces that you get. So you get the toast and the cherries, bananas, and look at those eggs. Aren't those cute? Then you get some pieces here where you can pop this out, or you can use this as an outline. You get all these speech bubbles. I don't know if you can see those, but there's speech bubbles here that you can do your stamps, your sayings in. You get several of those. You get these little strips to use as an accent if you want around some of your pieces. Of course, you get your glue dots. You get a little bit of vellum. And here on the vellum, you've got pieces where you can put a saying on there. And it also has a large circle and a small circle. So kind of you get that. You get 3 of those. You get these real cool hellos that you can pop out. And then you get these little strips of accent that you can actually come out and you can actually embellish on your card. And that's what you see here. There's some embellishment here and here. And see, that was that strip that they used. Can you see it? Try not to do the glare there. I got some new lights, so I'm just getting used to my new lights for that. But I really like them. They've got actual, you can do really hot lights or cool lights and all sorts of things. But anyway, so we're going to get back to, we've got all sorts of different ones. This is pool party. And then you have crumb cake, different sizes of where you can do this as accents, or you can actually do your stamping. Look at these cute embellishments. I love them, the little hearts. And you got pool party and daffodil delight. You've got some dimensionals here, and you have some twine in crumb cake. You have an early espresso spot. Oh my God, haven't had one of these. So this is going to definitely be used when I'm doing some of those smaller. These are great when you want to do, I've got a small stamp and you don't want to have to put it on that really big stamp pad of ours. These are great for that. So I always keep some main colors close by on that. They're really easy to re-ink also. Then this is the best part. These stamps are so cute. You've got your cherries, your banana. You've got a little splatter here. You've got your egg and your toast, a little speech bubble and a heart. Look at that little party hat. And then you've got these little faces. Oh my God, a mustache and some glasses. This is a little bitty one that says hi. So cute. And then you are cherry sweet. I'm sorry, that's the pits. Oh my God, these are so cute. I pick you. Thanks a bunch. Peel better soon. You know, these are great sayings. I love this. Celebrate, go bananas. Let's grow mold together. Isn't that too cute? A toast to your success. You tell me the best yolks. I love it. Have an excellent day. Excited for you, and I loaf you. Now, if you have anything to do with food, these are great sentiments that you're going to want to keep in your craft stash to use on other cards. So there's your content. So now let's get back to the best part, and that is all alternatives. So here's our first one. A toast to your success. So guess where we got this? Paper inside of our envelopes. Then we used this, and we used we actually pop dotted that up. We used a pool party. We used that plaid that came with that. Remember how it had that piece that you popped out? Put the toast on there and put it in a little dimensional also. And we edged this. This was one of the pieces you got. A toast to your success. On the inside, we put a piece of toast. Now this one is on polished pink, I believe. Yeah, polished pink. So this is a great card, and you can use other colors. So we're not just showing you that you've used the colors that are provided to you. Now here's a card that I did really quick. We took the cherries. I took the postage stamp punch that we have, put that on there. I took the inside of one of those cards on the envelope, and I cut that out. Isn't that cute? I put the stamp of the cherries behind that as a background. Can you see little cherries there? I pick you, put the cherries in there. You are cherry sweet. Now, isn't that just a cute card? I just love these. They're too fun. Here's another one. I'm sorry. That's the pits. Now I use we use the other piece. I used one of the cards. This is one of your base cards here, which had the little splatter effect in there. I thought that was perfect for the cherries. And then what I did is I used the negative of your speech bubbles. Once you pop them out, you have that negative piece, right? Then all I did was take my pool party, and I did my brush, and I did a little bit of piece right there, and I did a little bit of blending. There's my dog trying to tell me that a truck went by. And that gives you that speech bubble. So you don't actually have to use the pieces that you have there. You can actually use just doing something a little different. And then you are cherry sweet on inside, and I put a cherry in there. So there you go. Sorry for my cocoa bean. She's just telling us how she really feels. Now here's a cute card that Elaine did. She took the bananas and made different faces on them. There's a guy and a girl. She kind of made it look like a female and a male. Put a little heart. And then remember, this had that shading on the one card where it had like just the watercolor. She took 2 other colors and did watercolor shading on that also. So then you have 3 colors, 3 watercolors on there. She did the bananas and colored it in a little bit, and then stamped a little glasses and mustache and stuff. Isn't that cute? And then she took a little bit of the ribbon behind there and put that back there and made a little bit of a flag out of that one long piece that we got. Peel better soon. Isn't that too cute? Then just put a banana in there. Now, one of the things that I wanted to tell you on, not every card that you make when you're making them has to have something on the inside. Because a lot of times what you want is you want to make it more personal based on what the card is. So you might have another sentiment in there about feeling better or whatever they are. So you don't always have to have the matching ones on there. Okay. Now this one, we did one with each one of these. So we had the cherries, the banana, and the toast. And then a hello. That was the one that popped out. I put the hi in each one of the speech bubbles. Isn't that cute? And just did a layer. So this is your base card, and I did my Granny Green Apple, and I did your basic white. Then I chose the theme colors that were in there. So I chose red, and then I did the, actually this is Cinnamon Cider, and I did the Daffodil Delight. And on the inside, I just put a banana in there. So on this one, you could put any sentiment that you have in your stash when you're ready to do something and send it to a friend based off of why you're sending the card. So sometimes that's why I mention sometimes I don't go ahead and put a sentiment on the inside, but I like to put something there so you have it. All right. And now this one, you remember that, I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I think it's called Peekaboo, where it had the circles, the die. And that's what I did is I took one of my envelopes where, you know, that the actual color in the inside of it. So there's that color. Isn't that pretty? So I did that, and I had that as the die. And so I used that, and then I put my sentiments. Thanks a bunch. I pick you. I put a few hearts there. Isn't that cute? And then on the inside, I put the cherries, banana, and the toast. Very, very cute cards, but they're too much fun. Now, on the other side, let me show you what I did on this. This was my original, is I wanted these little openings here. So that's why I chose this die. And I thought this would be a great one. It's got the little stitching on it. And then I just dotted up each one of the cherries, the toast, and the banana. And then I used our little stamps in there to put in the other ones. So you can see how I have the positive and the negative. So that way you're not wasting any of your pieces. And I put that on Poppy Parade. These are Poppy Parade as far as your ink is concerned. And on the inside, I just did the little splatter. Now, isn't that cute? A great way to use your positive and your negative out of one of your dies. All right. Now, this card we did the little stripe piece, and guess where we got that from? You know, you remember you've got your inside of your cards. Look, isn't that great? All you have to do is just rip this. I just open it up with my bone folder, and then sometimes I use that, so it gives you more of your cardstock, your DSP, like our own custom DSP here when we use the inside of our envelopes. But we use that. She used that as a liner down below to add, so it adds this color here. It was on a Granny Green Apple card that we got. We did the 3 little stamps here, and then we used some of those embellishments. Isn't that cute? That hello that popped up, and then we just put some dimensionals underneath there. All right, so there's that one, and we're getting down to the end. But look at all these fun cards that we just made. Now here we did, she wanted, this is Elaine, she wanted to do the egg on the toast and she popped added it. So she wanted to put it on there so it looked like it was on a plate. So she took that vellum that we got, colored it in a little bit, and then used that splatter stamp with Poppy Parade. Isn't that too cute? Now took a few of those extra little pieces that we got, remember? There's one of those speech bubbles that we have, excited for you, and then took another little sliver of that pool party cardstock that we have that was in there. This is the other piece of the envelope that we used, so we didn't waste anything. Isn't that cute for a background? Have an excellent day, and then she stamped the egg in there. Too cute. All right, well, I saved the best for last. This was my absolute favorite card. This was so much fun to make. Look at this card. Let's grow mold together. Could not pass up that saying for anything. It was just absolutely too cute. Did the two toasts there and made one as a male and one as a female. And Elaine did this card. She took all the hearts and made like a little arc. And this is how she made her lips with the three little hearts there. Oh my God, it is too cute. And the way this drips down, we kind of thought this is mold a little bit, just the way the splatter looked and everything. It was part of one of the inside of the cards that for the envelope and the way it dripped down. So we thought this would be way too cute. And on the inside, we took another piece of that, put two pieces of toast together. I love you. Now, isn't that a fun card to make? This was my favorite one. I just love that. Let's grow mold together. I think it's just too cute. So anyway, so let's get a review here. These are the different cards that we made. All these different ones. We still had plenty of pieces that were left, and I can kind of show you that if I move this in our box here. We have tons of pieces still left that we could have just kept going. We have all sorts of cutouts left. We still had card bases left, pieces of envelope that we tore. So we could have just kept going, but you know, she had to pack. We had to keep going. We even had a few of these pieces left. So definitely could make lots more cards out of this kit, even though you only have enough for 9. But if you use your pieces wisely, you can make lots more. So let's keep going. Remember this one where I did the positive and the negative? Oh, I thought that was so cute. Very cute. Look at this one. Very simple. It's too cute with the little high. And then, oh, I love this one that she made with the little bananas. Then we have the different ones with the cherries about I pick you, or sorry, it's the pits. That was a cute one. And then this one's very cute too. This is the one we started with the toast. I toast to your success. So as you know, we do this around the 25th of every month, depending on if it's Christmas or not. So that's the reason why we decided to do it today and not on Christmas Day. But always look for the alternatives around the 25th of every month. Now, the schedule for this week is that Elaine, like I mentioned, is on vacation, and I'm taking a little time off to work on my craft room. For some reason, it really got out of hand this year. I, didn't spend that much time because I was always over at Elaine's working on stuff. So, well, thank you, Susan. I'm so happy you liked our cards. I just think they're so much fun to make. So the rest of this week, Elaine will be in Florida and I'll be working on my craft room and projects. So we will be dark Wednesday and Friday. Friday will be New Year's Eve, but we will be back the following Monday with our quick and easy cards for Monday. Elaine will be doing some kind of scrapbooking or something to do. We're going to kind of wait and see what she does on Wednesday. And then Friday is always our tips and techniques where she shows you some great tips in order to make a card with. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And look back for us on Monday. Hope everybody has a very happy new year. Get caught up on all that crafting projects and get ready for the new year, because guess what? We've got a catalog coming right around the corner that will launch on next Tuesday. And I believe that's the 4th. And that's during our celebration time. So don't forget, for every $50 you spend, you get a free gift that you can choose out of the catalog. So until then, we will see you back here Monday at 2 o'clock for my quick and easy cards. Until then, have a great week. Bye now.